you produce, if you have a gig tomorrow and you got like 10 songs and you have to play solos in all of them, how do you actually make sure that you can do it? And this is the fastest way to, not only improvise a solo that sounds cool, but also prepare a little so you have total certainty that you can do it and you can do it convincingly. It's all about linear soloing. And, most often we see solos as something like, connected licks rather, right? Lines you fire off that are really cool, and then you impress people and it sounds really good. But linear solo is taking, in my perspective, is taking a solo, like 16 bars, whatever, and then drawing a line of single notes from the beginning to the end that makes sense, that builds up the whole solo, that you can then use to change, to elaborate on. It's like a path that you can stray from, but you can get back to the path all the time. It's a simple principle, but if you use it, the quality of your solos will go up 1,000% overnight. Because it'll be melodic. You'll hit the right notes at the right time. In my upcoming program, here comes the little bit of advertising here, I will give you one of these linear solos on a way more complex level than in this video, but each and every week you'll get a new one. And it really teaches you that principle, and you'll get so fast at it, once you do it enough, that you'll do it instinctively, intuitively, right away. Like you'll be so fast at creating that linear solo that you won't even need preparation time. It'll just come out of you. But in this video, I'm going to give you the simple example of how to do it. Then you can take the simple to the complex yourself, as in many other videos. You don't need me, but I'll just give you the principle here so you can start using it right away. What are we going to do? For this example, I'm going to use 4 chords, and I'm going to pick 4 notes, 1 note per chord, that we can lean up against, and then we'll create our solo around that. That's the simplest thing we can do, right? We can take this to other levels, but let's just start here. So I'm going to take an A minor, and a G major, and an E minor, and an F major, in the key of A minor. All right, so we're going to go. Right, that's our chord progression. I'm just going to come up with a linear solo that's only 1 bar, right? So 4 notes, as simple as possible. And I can just, I know I'm in A minor, so I can just use the A minor scale to, first chord. I need to know when I come full circle in order to be able to return to the same place. Well, that's pretty. Let me just. For your information, I play the 17th and the 15th, and then the 8th and the 10th on the B string. So in just 1 bar, my little 1 bar solo here, that's my path. That's my linear solo. Of course, in real life, I would build it on, 8 bars or 16 bars as we do in the upcoming program, but just for you to get the principle here. So let's take this little. And I can, just figure out how to play this in different positions. And I might want to look at what scales, shapes are around this so I know what other notes I have in these positions. Right? So I just orient myself before I begin. So. It sounds good already, right? But I'm just gonna elaborate on it, put an extra note in before I go to the next chord. Okay, here we come full circle. Da, da, full circle. Okay. Just sliding up to 1 note and then down to the next, right? random notes from the scale. You can stay on one string if you want to. Right? You just play around with it, and suddenly you have an improvisational tool here. Let me just see if I can. And as you can hear, I'm starting to put some fast stuff in there, which is the whole point, because my new and upcoming program is about fast playing. But we need a framework to make that happen, right? We can't just, you know the problem, right? You want to do a fast run, but when do you start and when do you end in one note? And, it's hard to put in there. But if you have that framework, that certainty, that background of exactly what notes work when, then it's pretty easy in that playful state of just playing the 4 notes here and then putting in some fast notes in between. It comes natural almost once you play around with it enough. And you can start with legato, hammer-ons, and pull-offs. And just play out of time. Play as fast as you can, right? So I can go. Right? So it really gives you that backbone you need when you're soloing. Of course, this, as I said, is only 4 chords and 1 note per chord. If you take a 16-bar solo and you do the same thing, you construct a simple solo that starts simple and then, starts low, for instance. Those are the principles we're going to talk about. Starts in the low register, moves to the high register. You can move all the way up your solo, end in the right place, play fast runs, and you can always go back to your path. You know exactly where you are. Of course, you have to practice this. You have to put this into action. So create your own paths right now. Come up with 4 chords, or take a song like whatever, and then play the chords, and then devise the simplest solo of all, and then start. Once you've learned that and it's really, really easy, start elaborating on it. Start playing a little bit of fast runs and spicing it up, and then you do that over and over again. You can do that for an entire day with the same path, the same solo, and that will create that freedom that you're longing for, that everybody wants, right? With that specific chord progression, and then you can do the next and the next. In my upcoming program, we're going to do this 8 times with full-on solos that will absolutely make you sound like a pro almost overnight, because you have that backbone, that structure within your solo. And it will give you a framework within which you can actually put in those fast runs confidently, and we'll practice that and train you to do that. So, look forward to seeing you in the next video.